Yesterday we covered what is circumstancing all about, as well as what other thing did we cover? We did circumstancing, we understood date and this thing. That was the day previous to that, I guess. What did we cover yesterday, guys? What was that we covered yesterday? Local action. Perfect. So in flow actions, we have two types of, uh, you know, there is local action, which we saw. One is connector level flow action. Another one is local action. We did that yesterday, right? We understood these flow actions can be configured within a flow and how exactly you can utilize them to stay on the same assignment and perform certain operations. That's what we understood. And also we understood how exactly you can specify likelihood for a local action and how you can uh, specify a local action which is available across the flow on a specific assignment. These things are something which we understood and we designed that, and different places where we can configure that. That is something which we have understood. Today we'll be going one step further and we'll be understanding something called as packaging in Pega. Packaging in Pega. What is packaging in Pega? To understand this, let's understand what is packaging. For example, when you order, let us say you're using Zomato and you're ordering, let's say biryani and some sheikh kebabs and some kalmi kebabs, some chicken kebabs and stuff like that. When the restaurant is going to send you, he's going to package everything in one big bag and he's going to send you. Yes or no? Is he going to deliver you everything in piece by piece? For example, biryani separately and this thing. Is it going to come in four, five, or different orders? No, everything is consolidated in one order, and it's packaged and it's given as one whole thing because that's how they can move your order from their restaurant to you. So we understand packaging is necessary, right? You can't just individually keep sending one piece at a time, or there should be a process to package it. For example, the biryani which is made, they can't just bring that plate. They have to put it in a box and there is a process to it, right? They just don't directly cook it and just bring the plate to you. They package it. They do. There's a lot of stuff which goes in as part of packaging, like using a foil to wrap it, and then label it. Put a sticker on it, and then put it in a box, and then again make sure it is warm and stuff like that. So this is generic packaging. In Pega also we need packaging. Why do you think we will need packaging in Pega? Any of you? Just think out loud and tell me, why do we need packaging in Pega? What will be the necessity of packaging? Any idea, guys? So there is something called as, yes, very good for deployments, but not everyone will be able to understand what do you mean when we say deployment, right? So let's understand environment before we go further on packaging. So everyone has done their schooling and college, so you always have something called as a rough book, yes or no, where you take notes and stuff like that. Do you agree? There is a rough book you maintain, right? There is a rough book, and then from this rough book, whatever notes you take, you want to consolidate and put in something like a specific notes. For example, in this rough book you might capture everything for English, Kannada, math, everything you are capturing in this rough book. But then once you go back home, you are maintaining a notes for every specific topic, right? There's a specific notes for a topic, like for science you have a different notes, like specific notes maintenance, you're maintaining specific notes. In the same way, whatever you take down in specific notes, later if you have any submission to be done in college, that will be in a different notes. For example, lab record, it's a different note altogether. Do we agree? That is like more accurate, like whatever you note down and whatever you have in your specific notes, you consolidate all this, and then you put it in a lab record. Why this has to be presented to someone in your could be your viva or someone. Don't we do this? Right. In the same way, in software industry also, there is a concept called environment. And what do they mean when they say environment is, development, environment, quality assurance environment, or test environment, user acceptance testing environment, production environment. Usually they have these many environments. If you call UAT as pre-prod also, so you can also take pre-prod. It's also called as pre-prod. What do you understand when I say this stuff? This means nothing. It means, for example, whatever development we are doing, it is part of what environment? What am I highlighting here on the screen? Development environment. So in a team, when, for example, if you are trying to build a product, let us say you're trying to build something like Facebook, whatever you are developing, you won't be putting it to production directly. Yes or no? Whatever you are writing in homework, rough book, you are not going to show it in uh, your project, like in the lab. Will you show your rough book notes in your lab? No, you will have a separate lab record. Do we agree? Same thing is true in software also. You have different environments: development, quality assurance or test environment, user acceptance testing environment, production environment. In development, we develop. All that we have been doing is developing. We are developing. We had an idea for, to build a insurance application, and we have been doing that. We have been building this application piece by piece. We have been adding changes to our application, and we have been building it. That is why, because we are modifying rules, creating rules, editing rules, deleting rules. We are doing development. That is, that environment is called a development environment. What is quality assurance environment? Once your development is over, you're going to move your code, whatever package you have done. You're going to package that code and move it to quality assurance. Why? So that the quality assurance is meant for testers. Haven't we heard there is a tester opening for someone? I work in testing. I work as a tester, quality assurance QA tester. Haven't we heard? I'm in manual testing, I'm in selenium testing. We keep hearing stuff like that. So their job is whatever you have developed. For example, the application which you have developed, they keep creating multiple cases on this particular flow which you have developed, and figure out what all issues are there. Issues could be maybe some validation is not working. That is a issue. They also call it as a bug. They do that in the quality assurance environment. Similarly, once quality assurance tests it and tells, okay, QA certified, we have verified these all bugs were there, and they notify the development team that we have found these bugs. Again, the development team fixes those bugs. Again, after fixing it, pushes the code to quality assurance, and quality assurance again tests it and tells, okay, we have verified it, it looks good, now you can proceed to user acceptance testing. What is user acceptance testing? User acceptance testing is something where real users will test this application before this goes to production. Real users will test. They will test your application and see how is it behaving. So after quality assurance, user acceptance testing also is a part of testing. It's again a different environment though. So there it will be tested, and then they will identify, okay, though you have developed this thing, the requirement has this small change, that okay, maybe the error message you are showing is not correct. They might identify that, and they might tell you guys to modify that. Again, development team will do that modification, fix that issue, push it to QA will verify, and then again it will tell user acceptance testing guys, hey, that is fixed, can you test it? We'll move the code to user acceptance testing. Once they certify and tell, okay, this looks good, then it goes to production environment. This thing happens in all the companies. Facebook application, this thing is happening. Instagram application, this thing is happening. WhatsApp application, this thing is happening. Every application goes through this cycle. Is it understood, guys? So if it is a Java application, right, you can package the stuff into a jar and you can move. If it is a web application, you can move it as a var. Similarly, in Pega also you can move the application from one environment to other environment. How can we do it is what we are going to understand here. So far all the rules which we have built, there are so many rules we built. Do we agree? Let's go to our class. Under all these categories we have created rules. Yes or no? And we can't move one rule, like I can't just create this rule, go to the QA environment, and I can't create this rule. I have to, I should have a smart way to, like, bundle or package this entire thing and push it to higher environment. That is the expectation from packaging. That is the expectation. A tool like this should be providing you something to package it and send it further. When you package your current development, whatever development we have done, if you package this and send it to a different environment, we call it as a build. Whenever you package your rules and push to higher environment, it is called as build. Why? Because you are building a package. You built a package and then you're pushing that build to a higher environment. They call it package, build. All these are, like, synonyms. But the whole and soul part is here that you are going to package the code you have developed and you're going to push it further to a higher environment. So with that understanding of packaging, let us try to create and see how exactly a package is created. Okay, does it make sense, guys? Perfect. So to do that, there is a option under in the header bar. You see something called as configure. Click on configure, come to application, and then you will see something called as distribution. Am I able to see that? To package your work, you will have to use this wizard. You can do manually also, but understand how to do it through a wizard first, and then later, once you go into your applications, you can do it manually as well. Right now you don't need it. Just understand how you can do it through this packaging wizard. So once you come here, you can click on package, configure, application, distribution, package. Make sense? Distribution, package, application, distribution, package, configure, application, distribution, package. How will you push your code from one environment to other environment will be the question. Pega provides out of the box a wizard to package whatever we have developed and push it further. I'll be utilizing that. Perfect. Once I click on package, I will see there are some 12 steps which I have to follow to package it. Are we able to see that, guys? Perfect. And it is asking me, what is that you want to package? I want to package my Alpha Auto Insurance application. Yes or no? So choose that. It's already by default chosen. And it is telling, see, if you see the drop down, it is giving you your framework application as well as implementation application. Let me take my implementation application. If you come down, there is something called as rule set name and rule set version. Have we been seeing this thing so far anywhere, guys? Have we seen this particular name, rule set name and rule set version anywhere before? By the way, this is client side validation. Yes or no? Yeah. Have you seen this before? Rule set name and rule set version. Whenever we created a rule, it was asking us what is the, the work class and stuff, and then rule set name and rule set version. Yes, no, right? So if you see, I opened the address DT, data transform, and if you see, it is telling alpha auto colon 01010. Alpha auto is the rule set, 01010 is the version. We'll be covering this in detail, don't worry. Just understand this is the container for the rules. That's it. Nothing fancy. Just wanted to show you that. Let's close this. So it is asking us for the rule set name and rule set version. I know the rule set name. Alpha auto. Rule set version 010101. Are we able to choose that? Perfect. Click next. See? Now here it is telling all the application stack you want to include. So it is giving you all that you have developed, right? Theme Cosmos is on top of which we have built. When we created the implementation application and the framework application, we chose the theme Cosmos. That is why it is giving us that. Nothing to worry. That's what this application element. Alpha Auto is our application. Yes or no? Under which we kept on building all the changes which we have added. Do we agree? Yes, no? If you want to confirm, come here on the header bar, open the definition, see what is the application name. Alpha Auto. Yes or no? 010101. This is where we have been creating all our details, right? That's what it is popping you. Click next. Very simple. You just have to know how to like click next. I think you all guys already know, but very important how to package. Here it is asking select products are required to deploy on current application. Right now you don't have anything. Don't have to worry about this thing. So today we are understanding packaging. For whoever just joined, how to package whatever we have developed is what we are understanding. And we have accessed it through configure button, application, and distribution. Clicked on package, and we got this wizard. In the first tab, we chose what is the application, Alpha Auto, right? 0107. I choose a rule set name and version under which all the rules have been getting created. Later, in the next step, after when we click next, we are able to choose all the applications which are going to be part of this package. Next. If there are any application dependencies, we don't have any right now. So I'll say next. Here it should give you the organization structure. This is my organization structure. Organization, division, unit. Yes or no? Click next. Access groups. These are nothing but the groups to which a user will belong. If you remember when we created the application, it was asking us to create a user. In the end, when we created the application, it used to ask us to create a user. So every user will belong to a group. That is this thing. We do have a detailed class for this. Understand that this is a group to which the users will belong, and that is what we are including as part of here. Next. And operators. These are the operators which we have created. Yes or no? Admin at alpha is what we are using to access it. There's another user called user at alpha also in this system. That's what it is showing. It is telling, okay, these are the users available in this package. So what happens is this user also goes as part of this package. When you push this particular package into the QA environment, you will be able to log in using this user. Why? Because you are including here. For example, if you don't want it, you can exclude it here explicitly. Does it make sense? Okay, perfect. Next piece is work queue. Whatever you are creating, for example, the work objects, if it has to go and sit in a queue, there is a default queue for alpha application. That is this for admin authors also. There are different queues. That is what we are including here. Nothing fancy. Just click next. This is the work group, to which your work class belongs, the class group under which all the work objects will come and sit. We do have a class for work group, work list and work group and work queue. In that we'll see details about that. Right now just understand that using this wizard we can package our work. Does it make sense? Okay, I chose my work group. Click next. Interesting. These are our data tables. Did we create these data tables, guys? Rule set, class name, number of records which are there in that, and this thing. So what you are doing here, you are telling whatever data types you had created, you want to move them also as part of this application. Here by default everything is selected. You can use this checkbox to deselect everything. If you want to select anything specific, you can remove and say okay, I don't want, I just want these three to be moved. For example, if you have created few to test out, then you don't want to include them, so you can exclude them here. Right now I want to include everything. I'll choose it. Data tables. Make sense, guys? Well to understand. Next. Here, in few applications, if there are, explicit jars or anything, if we are using, you will have to include that. Right now, we are not using anything. Most of the times, like 80 to 90% times, you won't have any such jars explicitly which you want to include. So don't worry about this. Just click next. Perfect. So next is customer data. These are the tables which have been created for our changes, right? Customer data part of, for every data type we created, there was a table which got created at the backend. Yes or no? PR alpha data table. We saw that in the database. Do we agree? States table. My work table also should be there. Yes or no? Same way. So all these tables also it is moving. What it is saying, what are they saying here is, hey, we got you. You don't have to worry about how your code is going to be moved. Just run this wizard. Make sure all that is necessary for you, you have checked it in, and then we'll package it for you. We are going to package it for you is what you're saying. Integration resources, if you want to include any integration resources, you can do that. Right now here, mm, I don't want any of this so far. Maybe for just for argument's sake, I'll use this data hyphen integration. Nothing to worry. That's it. Just keep clicking next, 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 next with all your necessary details checked, and then just click on finish. See what it gives? The wizard package your application as a product. Now you can verify the content, export it and migrate it to another system. What do they mean when they say another system? Does it make sense? You have packaged it. Now you can move is what they are saying. So how can we move? Let us see what it looks like. Okay. So once this is done, you can open that product rule, whatever product rule has been created, you can open that. Let me preview it. In this process, what we have done is we have packaged all the changes we made. When you preview, you will be able to see how many rules have moved, guys. How many rules have moved? 1298 rules have moved. As part of Alpha Auto, if you see, 173 rules are there. When you expand this, you'll be able to understand what are those rules. For example, circumstance. We created a circumstance definition. Yes or no? See, that is being moved. To verify that, you can click on this and it will open on the side. You can be sure that your rule has been moved. Is it moved? ABC template. We created this ABC definition. For this template, we created this definition. Perfect. I can verify that. There is a declare on change rule. This is also something which we created. Agency name. Yes or no? So all the rules which we used or created within the system are getting packaged as part of this particular packaging wizard drive. Now we can verify what all has been. If you see in alpha, we only have 5 rules, and these are something out of the box which got created most of the time. See, rule obj class, which will be alpha, and see alpha data and alpha fw. Pega automatically created this. Whenever we created the application, Pega automatically created all this. Yes or no? We didn't explicitly create any of this. Pega already created the rule set name, rule set version also. It's something which got created. Alpha Auto, however, in Alpha Auto, we added so many things. For example, all the sections I added are here. See, rule HTML section, edit validate, we created one, rule edit validate, declare pages, we created, declare expression, we created, decision table, we created, constraint, we created, yes or no, flow, we created, flow actions, we created, data transforms, we created, rule obj model. Open this, you will see. See, address data transform. Py default is the default data transform which gets triggered when you create a flow. We went there and we modified and told what sort of work object prefix should come there. After which we saw the timestamp and a hyphen timestamp and stuff coming as part of the work object prefix. Yes or no? We also created report definitions. All that has been packaged. You just have to run the wizard. Pega is saying, we got you. We are going to package all that. If you see, Pega is segregated. The rules are going as part of this upper section. See, rules, version, and class. The application level in the seven, in the sense the classes which are present as part of this application are going as part of this. See, application slash framework data is going as part of this. And in the same way, if we come down, the system needs some information. This is what Pega uses for itself. The history, all this you didn't create, but Pega automatically has created 930 in history rules. If you open it, it will be history rule for all that which you have created. For every rule, most of the rules, it will be creating the history rule. We do have a lesson where we will be going over what this history rule is all about, history hyphen rule circumstance definition which we had created for that. Like that, we'll see that, don't worry about that, but just giving you how you can preview if your all your rules are included as part of this particular application wizard. These are the different data tables which we had created. See, all those are being moved. Your work class, alpha auto work, cities table, customer table, states table, work class at the framework level, history classes which are created for all the data classes are also here. History class of your work class are also here. Though you didn't create, Pega automatically creates those. Only these you created, right? Cities table, customer table, states table. For corresponding those classes, Pega has created history classes also by default. And these are the tables to which it is mapped. If you go into the database, you can do select star on this table and you can see all these records which are present as part of this table. Understood, guys? Yes? No? Perfect. Once you create this, run this wizard, what Pega does is at the back end, if you open the sysadmin category, there is a rule called product. Am I able to find that? Under sysadmin category, there is a rule called product. When you ran this wizard at the back end, Pega created a product rule. What is the date today, guys? 28th? Yes or no? See, Pega created this product rule. When you try to say how will you move your code from one environment to other environment in Pega? We will create a product rule. They will also call this as rule admin product. Rule admin product because it belongs to that class. If you open the view XML of this product rule and do Control F px obj class, it's already highlighted, but I'm just showing. Very important, guys. Remember this very well. How will you move your code from one environment to another environment? By packaging and creating a product rule. Product rule. This rule is also called as wrap, which means rule admin product. Rule admin product. Wrap rule also is what they call it. I will create a wrap of my application code which I want to move to the higher environment, and I will push it. This is the wrap which got created, rule admin product rule which got created. If you see the history, it is just now created, 28th, few minutes before when we ran the wizard. Pega created this rule admin product. Does it make sense, guys? Perfect. Now you can also, if you see, all these are included. Whatever we saw there, this is what it is showing here. When we created that, this rule got created. Ultimately in Pega, everything is a rule. Do we agree? Everything got packaged into this one single rule. You can explicitly include rule sets here. For example, if I want to include my alpha auto rule set of, because under which I have created all my uh, rules, so I can add that here. 0, right, and then copy this. Minimum and maximum is this only because I didn't create anything extra, right? Explicitly like this, I can include the rule sets also. That's what I'm trying to do. I navigated to the sysadmins categories product rule, and under which I was able to find the product rule which got created. I explicitly am able to include the rule sets which have to be part of this particular application. I'll say exclude non-version rules if you want, or you can include them also, you know. Now once this is done, to move, we just created, but where is that package? Like for example, when you book a order, Zomato ultimately comes and gives you that package, right? But where is that package? We should be able to see that package. Let us see how we can see that package. Now once you are done, you can save this, right? And then if you come to the bottom, you will also be able to preview how your product looks. Come down and you'll be able to see. You can preview the same thing how we saw there. You can preview that. See all the set of rules which are being moved as part of this application, this product. 73 instances. Same thing which we saw in the wizard. we are able to see here. Ultimately, what it did was it packaged everything and it created this product rule. And this product rule is what you will have to move. To move that, you have to create this product rule. Create a product rule, and you can give a name, alpha auto underscore build one. Let us say we'll call it build one. Click OK. So it didn't let you package and do this because rule set version instance it's unlocked, so you have to lock the rule set version. To do that, you can go to the rule set version and lock it. How do we go there? Is pretty simple. From here only you can click on under the sysadmin category. There is something called as rule set on auto. See, it is saying all these rule sets have to be locked. We do have a detailed class on rule sets. In that, I want to show you how exactly it can be done. But for now, let us lock them. To lock them, I'm just clicking on rule set, coming to those rule sets which it is asking us to lock. I'm locking them. Once you lock them, this particular version, no one can modify it. That's what it means. Hold on. Let us do that and then let's package it and see, understand package. And tomorrow we'll do a deep dive to understand what our rule sets all about. You have to use a password which will be common in the team. The development team will be knowing what will be that password. So never set something which you want. Rather verify with your development team. Ask them what is the password we are using to lock the rule set versions. Why? Because if tomorrow when you are not available, they should be able to unlock it. So they always try to maintain one common password. So reach out to your team lead or your someone who has already been in the team for some time. Ask them what should be the password and lock these rule sets. I'm locking all which it is telling it's not able to lock. Save. What all did it give? And the last one, int, everything related to my alpha application. I'm locking those rule sets. What are rule sets? They are containers for rules. That's what they are. Perfect. Save them. Saved it. Let me go back to my product rule. Let me create a product. Build one. Now this should allow me to. Are we able to see a zip file is getting created for all the rules which are developed by us? Yes or no? Yes or no, guys? If you have any issues, it will show here only. It will tell, okay, for example, we saw that the rule sets were not locked. It showed me an error. If some rule was skipped for some reason, it will skip here. And if there are any errors, you will see those errors here. You have to see the error and you have to fix them. Once this is done, you have to click to save it. When you create a product, you have to click here to save it. Let me click here. Do we see the zip file getting generated, guys? Yes or no? Am I able to see my build? My first build is ready. All I have to do is push this particular build to the desired environment. QA, if it is QA, it is QA. this particular build gets saved into your local system, whatever name you give, it takes that, and you see that a zip file got generated. Does it make sense? All you have to do is in your desired system. Right now I'll show you in the same system, but ideally in a production or in a project, when you are deployed, you will have another application like this, like how I am hitting the development environment. You will have a QA URL which they will share, and you will have to go and deploy this code there. How will you deploy this code there, guys? Pretty simple. How we packaged it on the same wizard, we do have a import also. Let's see that. When you are given the package, all you have to do is you have to log in into that desired environment, which is your, could be your QA, user acceptance, or production, whatever it is. You have to go there, click on configure, application, distribution, import. Do we see import here, guys? Yes or no? Yes, I see that. All you have to do is import. It's a local file. Sometimes it will be on some server. You can choose this and you can specify on which server it is there. Sometimes it might be in some repository. You will know where it is. Right now I have it in my local. I can go and I can say downloads. I can choose that file, Alpha Auto. Because I'm doing it in the same system, it's telling it's already available. That's fine, no problem. But this is what you will have to do. All we understood today was how to package all our rules. Go to a product rule, a rule admin product, wrap rule. Figure out what is your wrap rule. See, your wrap rule name is product name and product version. Open it, Alpha Auto, sorry. Open this wrap rule, Alpha Auto dot. This is your wrap rule. Go there. We included the rule set I wanted. Here you can do modifications, whatever modifications you want. But right now, whatever modification I do won't go in. I'll tell you why tomorrow in the class. Because this is, do you see what I'm seeing here? See my cursor? Are you able to see my cursor, guys? It tells locked. You can't modify something which is locked. Why? Because explicitly we went and we locked all these rule set versions. You won't be able to do it. But right now, we are seeing the import wizard. I went to the configure, application, distribution, and import, and I'm able to import that. If I click next, it will show me a view of what this file contains. This file which you have selected has the operator ID admin at alpha, artifact name is this, the export date is this, the artifact version is this, type, and you can also see the content details. Show content details, and you can verify if you are moving the right rules before you even import. Yes or no? You can also use this enable advanced mode for more granular control, and it will give you, when it deploys this code, it will show you like, okay, moving this code, this rule, moving this rule, and stuff like that. That's what this means. And when you click next, it will take you further, and then you will be able to push these changes in your desired environment. You have to first log in into that desired environment. Just choose that file and proceed further to import. That's what you should be doing. Do we understand how to package a application in Pega and move it to a different environment? Yes? No? Perfect. So that is what was scheduled for today. How to package a Pega application, and you can push it. I can give you this zip file. You can import in your local. Once you deploy, you can import this, and all these rules will be available for you. Yes or no? If I give you the zip file, you'll be able to import all these rules in your environment. You just have to go here, configure application and import. Is this anything different from copying a movie from my system onto a pen drive and giving it to you? Same thing, right? Ultimately, we are just trying to move stuff. Yes, no. Is it understood, guys? Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. When we packaged it, we chose them explicitly, didn't we? If you open your product, see, class instances. This doesn't have a rule set version. Open this. Does it have a rule set version? No. However, it was included when you ran the wizard, you were able to provide all these. That's as simple as how you can move them. Perfect. Was it understood, guys? Thank you. That's what was planned to be conveyed today. So if this is understood, thank you. We'll catch up tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be looking at what are rule sets all about and understanding how rule set and rule set versioning works. Thank you, guys.